In the name of the most compassionate and the most merciful. All praise be to the one who created the heavens and the earth, the shining sun and the radiant moon, the clouds which give shade, the food that nourishes us, and the water that sustains us, the creator of joy and happiness, and the creator of you and me. Welcome to Mārefa Podcast by Owen, your weekly spiritual sanctuary, where wisdom and insights flow from the ordinary to the extraordinary. Join us each week as we journey through the realms of spirituality, offering you a fresh perspective and a soulful experience. Episode 3: Words Matter. What do words really mean? Do they really matter? Or they're just mere words? If you look at our lives, the relationships that are formed, if words were taken away, there would be nothing left. We communicate through words. We form relationships through words. If there were no words, there would be no relationship. Words matter. Words really, really matter. It depends upon how we use the words. But imagine yourself, it's the bottom of the 7th, 2 outs, bases full. You have 1 point lead. The ball is pitched, and it goes high in the sky, and it's coming at you. Everyone screams, "Don't drop it." You are right underneath the ball, and the words are ringing in your ears. Don't drop it. But suddenly, guess what happens? You drop the ball. Because the mind does not process don't. It just sees drop it. Words matter. Words shape matter. They can be cages that confine the soul, or keys that open every single door in the universe. Depends upon how you're willing to use it. Let's dive into a story from chapter 12. The story of Yaʿqūb, or known as Jacob to most, and his son, Joseph, or Yūsuf. Yaʿqūb really loves his sons. He has a lot of affinity for Yūsuf. He cannot bear to be away from Yūsuf at any time. His brother sees that their father loves Yūsuf more than he loves them, which upsets them. And slowly and for surely, jealousy starts to creep in. They devise a scheme that they will take Yūsuf away and get rid of him. But they don't know what they will do. So they come to Yaʿqūb and ask him, "Is it okay that we take Yūsuf on a road trip? He's here all the time. He needs an outing." Yaʿqūb knows what is in the hearts of his son. So he comes up with an excuse. As the verse 12-13 talks about, "It really upsets me that you should take him away, and I fear the wolf may eat him." They didn't know what they were going to do. It was Yaʿqūb who planted the seed, who instilled the idea that, hey, we will take Yūsuf and we'll come back and tell Dad that the wolf ate Yūsuf. Fast forward a few years after the story when Yūsuf fell into the well, and now he's bought by the minister Aziz Misr of Egypt. And there his wife falls in love with Yūsuf. and to avoid a grave sin. What does Yūsuf say? He said, "My Lord, prison is dearer to me than whatever they invite me to." Guess what happened? He ended up in prison. Now Yūsuf is in prison. When the prison inmates figured him to be a divine man, they referred to him for guidance. The story does not mention when, but it talks about two inmates who saw dreams, and they went to Yūsuf to get the interpretation of their dreams. Let's see what the book says. In 1241, Yūsuf says, "As for you who saw himself pressing wine, you will serve wine to the king. And as for you who saw the birds eating bread off of your head, you will be crucified, and the birds will eat from your head." The second inmate became scared. He retracted his dream. He said, "No, I did not see it. I was lying." Guess what happened? Because Yūsuf said it, it had been decreed. It happened. Fast forward many years, Yūsuf is now the king of Egypt. There is drought throughout the surrounding areas. Because of famine and drought, Yūsuf's brother looked towards Egypt. They've heard that there is a king and he has a lot of surplus. They went for the first time, they got some food. And the next time when they wanted to go, they took Yūsuf's other brother with him. But Yaʿqūb obviously is skeptical, considering what they had done with Yūsuf. But what's interesting is that Yaʿqūb advises and warns his son, enter from different gates. He was afraid of the evil eye. And guess what happened? The evil eye did strike them. One of the brothers was detained. Not because of fate, but because of the weight of words. Now the book talks about another story as well. The story of Moses. Mūsā alayhi salam. He fled Egypt. He had taken a life unintentionally. He was being hunted. He had no home, no food, nowhere to go. Out of fear, he kept looking back over his shoulder if anybody was following him or not. Just fear. So he ran, and he watched every shadow, every sound behind him, until he reached a well in a place called Madian. A crowd of shepherds gathered near the well. Mūsā notices something unusual. Two women standing off to the side waiting. He approaches them gently, respectfully. "What is the matter?" They respond with dignity and modesty. "We do not water our animals until the shepherds leave, and our father is an old man." They did not ask for help, but he gave it anyway. He draws water for them and then steps away, alone again. And then he sits in the shade. No speech, no complaint, just surrender. As the Sermon 160 in Nahj al-Balāgha says, by God, all he wanted was a piece of bread. He had been living off the greens of the earth for so long, to the point that the green color was visible beneath the fragile skin of his stomach. And yet, he didn't ask for anything. He did not ask for luxury. He did not ask for a palace. He did not even ask for rest. He did not tell God what to do. He just said, "I am in need. ربي إني لما أنزلت إلي من خير فقير. My Lord, ربي إني لما أنزلت إلي من خير فقير. My Lord, I'm in need of whatever good you may send down to me. And that's what the one that sees it all needed to hear. Guess what happened? From the moment of pure need, Allah sent one of the women walking with modesty, with purpose, with mercy. Indeed, my Father invites you to reward you for watering our flocks. This wasn't just an offering. It was a beginning of something new. Security, companionship, marriage. All of it began with a simple prayer in the shade. Yes, we live in a world of suffering, of injustice, of doubt, of happiness, of sadness. Maybe we cannot change the world, but we can change ourselves. We can have a shift in our paradigm. How? We are limitless, yet we are nothing. What remains are words. Words are everything. Wars are waged through words. Hearts are won by word. Treaties are signed by word. Tears are wiped by words. Families are torn by word. Souls are healed, all because of words. Now let's reflect on our lives. May it be a partner, a spouse, your children, your friends, your employer, your employee, or your congregation. Words really matter. How you look towards God is how you will find Him to be. I'm sure many of you have heard the phrase, "I told you so." Didn't I tell you this was going to happen? Guess what? The words that we use, they have an impact. There's a butterfly effect. There's a change in the cosmos. And the one who sees it all, he says, when my servant considers me to be a tyrant, when my servant considers me to be a pessimist, when my servant has a negative outlook towards me, so I will give them what they want. Whatever your outlook towards God is, that is exactly how you will find Him to be. Be careful of the words that you use. Have that paradigm shift. And remember, all the things that happened to Yūsuf and Yaʿqūb was because of words. And look at Mūsā. His words ended up with him getting security, job, a wife, children, prosperity. Even when things are not going your way, even things seems to be failing, have a positive outlook. There's a proverb that goes by, al-khayru fīmā waqā. Whatever happens is always khair. There's always a blessing. Be careful of what you say. Be conscious of what you speak. Words are never empty. They are laws. They are signs. They are bridges. Say a word of judgment, and someone somewhere starts to shrink. Say a word of mercy, and someone begins to believe they are not alone. And remember, it's only dark if you make it dark. Until next time, stay humble, stay aware, and remember, without Him, we are nothing.